Hello, I'm Mike Evans. I've just got back from Israel. It's my third trip to the front lines. I was invited by the Foreign Minister of Israel to join him and the Foreign Minister of Ireland and the European Union in a massacre site. But I'll be going back shortly to Gaza with the Israeli Defense Force. But I want to talk to you a moment about something I'm outraged at, and that is the protests going on in America on college campuses, protests going on in the streets of America. And who are they protesting? Are they protesting the terrorists? No, they're not. They say they're protesting the injustice done to Muslims. Well, I've got some news for you. I want us to think for a second about what they're saying right now. The protest that's done to Muslims. There's a double standard in all of this. Millions of Muslims have been killed in the last 12 years globally, and the silence is deafening. There was no protest at all going on in university campuses or in the streets of America over the death of these Muslims. So let me talk about some of these Muslims that have been killed. Over 1 million Muslims have been killed in Syria by Muslims. No protest. Another million Muslims have been killed in Africa by Muslims, no protest. 500,000 in Yemen by Muslims, and over 1 million Muslims have been persecuted by China. Nobody's protesting. Why has the Muslim country of Egypt closed its borders to the Palestinians? Won't let them leave Gaza. Why have they done this? Well, I'll tell you why they've done this. Because they don't want them in their country. None of them do. Jordan doesn't want them in their country. The Muslim countries don't want them. The Jews took 1 million refugees kicked out of Arab countries in, but they don't want them. Now, roughly the same population that lives in Gaza was forced out of Pakistan into Afghanistan. We're talking about almost 2 million Muslims are being pushed out of Pakistan in Afghanistan. Everyone's silent. No one's saying a word. But they're criticizing Israel. Israel that's experienced a massacre, they're criticizing Israel. They won't say a word to support the slaughter of Jews, beheading, burning alive, raping, dismembering of Jews. And yet, they're motivated by this belief system, this anti-Jewish belief system that attacks the state of Israel as the collective Jew. It's Jew hatred. It's anti-Semitism at its worst, or anti-Zionism at its worst. So my question is, why no protest about Hamas holding Palestinians hostage, using them as human shields? They're living like billionaires in gutter, stealing the money from the mouths, the food, and from the medicine so they could live their opulent lifestyles and buy more bombs to kill more Jews. After the Holocaust, you couldn't hate Jews and say it anymore. But now it's popular to hate the collective Jew, the state of Israel. And so they do. And they don't support Israel. Nobody was supporting. I want to ask you a question. Who isn't protesting against Israel? I'll tell you who's not protesting. The 2 million Arabs living in Israel are not protesting. So where are they? They're managing the biggest hospital in the north of Israel. They're reporting the news on Israel's biggest channels. They're serving as members in the Israeli parliament. They're serving in the Israeli Defense Force. They're creating content for social media platform. They're a judge in the Israeli Supreme Court of Justice. They're playing soccer in the Israeli national team. They're on Israeli TV shows. They're chairing Israel's second largest bank. Yes, Israel is home to 2 million Arab citizens with equal rights as the Jewish Israelis have. So how does does that fit into the narrative? It doesn't. Oh, by the way, 3 million Palestinians live in Jordan, and the Queen is Palestinian. Now, that's more Palestinians living in Jordan than the West Bank. Why? Because there is a Palestinian state. There is no such thing as Palestinian language, culture. All of this came because of a war in 48 and 67. Originally, they were part of the Ottoman Empire, and then the British took control. So you have a Palestinian state, but it's called Jordan. And there's more Palestinians living there than in the entire West Bank. The belief of the liberal left is that a perfect world is a weak and anemic Israel, and an America that embraces the perpetrators and castigates the victims. Today, the battle of good versus evil is being fought from within. Liberals hate the America and Israel, which is based upon the Bible and biblical principles. They subject both Jews and Christians to scorn and ridicule and discrimination. The insults, verbal abuses, and attacks are so severe that anyone who contradicts them is labeled ignorant, evil, racist, and a bigot. The dumbing down of America has all begun in the name of social justice and a new form of godless globalism. The liberal left wants God and the Bible out of America, and they want it out of Israel. They see the terrorists as little George Washingtons. Freedom fighters. They make excuses for evil, or worse, deny it exists and coddle it. It's time for us to stand up for truth and moral clarity. This is a battle between light and darkness. And as I mentioned before, the battle that Israel's fighting, if Israel doesn't win this battle, they're coming for you, because they hate the infidels. The infidels are Jews, and the infidels are Christians. Never forget, Iran's behind all of this, and they call Israel the little Satan and America the great Satan.